Microsoft wasn't always hated. In fact, at one point, they were unstoppable. So, what went wrong? Windows 95 drops, and it completely changes personal computing. Start menu, taskbar, everything we still use today started here. Microsoft wasn't annoying back then. They were revolutionary. Bill Gates was on magazine covers, the world was watching, and Microsoft was winning. Windows XP, Windows 7. This was peak Microsoft. Stable, simple, loved by everyone. This is when Microsoft became untouchable. But here's the thing about being untouchable, you start believing the rules don't apply to you. Let's talk about something most people forget. In 1998, the US government sued Microsoft to charge monopolistic practices. They were bundling Internet Explorer with Windows and forcing PC makers to use it. No choice, no competition, just Microsoft. The judge ordered Microsoft to be broken into two different companies, two separate companies. That never happened. The decision was overturned on appeal. But the message was clear. Microsoft had gotten too big, too fast, and too aggressive. This wasn't a company competing. This was a company suffocating everyone around it. They had a strategy for it too. They called it Embrace, Extend, Extinguish. First, adopt an open standard. Then, add proprietary features only Microsoft supports. Then, let the original standard die. Slowly, quietly. And suddenly, you need Microsoft to survive. This playbook didn't disappear. It just got more sophisticated. Then, Windows 8 happened. They removed the start menu, forced a touch UI on desktop users. Nobody asked for it. It felt like Microsoft was designing a future that didn't exist yet. This was the first time users felt Microsoft isn't listening. Windows 10 comes in, looks better, but something changes. Forced updates, random restarts, telemetry. For the first time, your PC didn't feel fully yours. And then ads start appearing in your start menu, in your lock screen, inside your operating system that you paid for. Microsoft tries to compete everywhere. Cortana versus Siri, Windows Phone versus Android, and then they kill them again and again. Every time users start trusting something, Microsoft shuts it down. Let's talk about the graveyard because it's bigger than you think. Windows Phone actually had a beautiful design, killed in 2017. A lot of people still miss it. Mixer, their gaming streaming platform, had 1.5 million users when they shut it down in 30 days. No warning. Ninja just had signed an exclusive deal with them. Cortana, their answer to Siri, pushed hard, then quietly removed. Microsoft banned a smartwatch before smartwatches were cool. Gone. Zune, yes, Zune. People actually loved it. Dead. MS Paint, they almost killed it. The internet revolted. It survived. Barely. Internet Explorer. Okay, nobody won for this one. The pattern isn't bad luck. It's a company that launches product like experiments and drops them like they never mattered. The users who trusted them, they don't get an apology, they get a migration guide. Even very recently, Skype users had to migrate to Microsoft Teams. Now, we're here. Windows 11 forced Microsoft account, Edge pushed everywhere, OneDrive auto-syncing your files. You delete OneDrive and your files are messed up. Before we continue, I just want to say these kind of videos take a long time to make, especially this one. This video was the most difficult one to make out of all because my software crashed at least 50 times. and it took me proper 3 days just to export this, so I would really appreciate if you subscribed. At this point, you don't even own your PC anymore, and if your PC didn't have TPM 2.0, you were told your machine was unsupported. Not broken, not slow, just declared incompatible overnight. Millions of working computers suddenly second-class citizens. So people started looking for an exit. Mac, beautiful hardware, tight ecosystem, no force updates screaming at you, but expensive, very expensive due to the ecosystem. And if you game, forget it, the library isn't there. Linux, free, open, completely yours. The dream for anyone who hates Microsoft. But then you spend 3 hours configuring drivers and realize why most people don't switch. Gaming on Linux has gotten better. Very recently, with a new version of Wine, it has gotten up to 600% boost. But it's still not very seamless. Here's the brutal truth. Mac wins on design and simplicity. Linux wins on freedom and control. But Windows wins on everything else. Compatibility, gaming, software support, peripherals, and the whole corporate world runs on Windows. It just works, even when it annoys you. That's Microsoft's greatest trap. They made themselves so deeply embedded into how computing works that escaping feels more painful than just tolerating them. And now, AI Copilot is built into your Windows, whether you want it or not. And then, Recall, a feature that screenshots everything you do. Your passwords, your messages, your browsing history, stored locally, yes, but how much do you really trust Microsoft? Now, they're the biggest backer of OpenAI. They have poured over 13 billion into it. Copilot is in Windows, in Office, in Teams, in Bing. AI is everywhere Microsoft touches. And when the OpenAI drama happened, when Sam Altman was briefly fired, Microsoft moved fast, offered him a job within hours. It was a power move, a reminder of who holds the strings. People aren't just uncomfortable with Microsoft anymore, they're uncomfortable with how much of AI future Microsoft controls. But here's the truth, you're still using Windows because nothing else comes close. Best compatibility, best for gaming, everything just works. VS Code, loved by every developer on the planet. GitHub, the home of open source, now owned by Microsoft. Minecraft, Game Pass, Azure powering half of the internet. Microsoft makes some of the best tools on earth and some of the worst decisions. That's what makes them so frustrating. You can't fully hate them because you need them. Microsoft didn't suddenly become bad. They became too powerful, too embedded, too essential, and they know it. That's why they don't ask anymore. That's why Copilot is already not taskbar. Because they don't need your approval. They just need to be everywhere. Now that's exactly why you're angry. Not because Microsoft is useless, but because you can't escape them. And they know it.